Good morning, students. So, since we were discussing the chapter number 1, that is the changes of the earth surface, so today we will revise whatever we have discussed so far. So, you see, changes in the earth's surface. Okay, it is mainly because of two forces. First one is our endogenic forces, and another one is our exogenic forces. So, what are endogenic forces? Basically, those forces which are working in the earth's interior, that means inside the earth. Okay, so like your volcanic eruption or an earthquake. Okay, these mainly takes place because of the endogenic forces, because we already have learned that because of the movement of the plates. Yes, plates. Now exogenic forces are what? Exogenic forces are those forces which are working outside, external forces. Okay, like your rivers, okay, sea waves, then your glaciers. All these are your external agents or external factors. So all those forces which are working outside the earth or which we can see visible. Okay, that is, those forces are called your exogenic forces. Now one of the external factor or exogenic factor, okay, that is your river. Now because of the river also many or various landforms are seen on the earth. Okay, so first we should know what is a river basin. Yes, now what the river basin, it is basically an area, okay, where there is a main river, and along with it some tributaries are there. Tributary river, that means tributaries means a small stream. Okay, like river, it carries water. Okay, and it joins with the main river. Now, so river basin, it is an area where the main river and along with its the tributaries, they carry water downward. So here you see in this picture, this is the main river. Okay, and these are the tributaries. Okay, now so this main river along with their tributary, they carry water downward towards the sea or an ocean. Okay, so where the river, it joins or it meets with the sea or an ocean, it is called what? Mouth of the river. So this point is called the mouth of the river. So the whole area, it is called as a river basin. Okay, now next you see the works of a river, it is mainly categorized into three groups. So first one is your erosion, then is your transportation, and next is your deposition. So erosion means what? Erosion means when the river, because of the high velocity, speed you can say, okay, high velocity, it breaks the earth surface, that is called erosion, that means breaking down. Okay, then transportation is what? Transportation means all those broken particles that we call as your sediments. Okay, all those dust particles, sand particles, rock particles, all those particles. Okay, so the river, it carries along with the water. Okay, that is called your transportational activity of a river. Now last is your deposition, that means all those sediments, broken particles, okay, rock particles, sand, dust, everything, when the river, it deposits, that is called your depositional activity of a river. So in your this chapter we will discuss mainly on about these three activities of a river. So first we will see the erosional activities of a river. So here you see erosion. So as I have already told, erosion means what? When the river, because of the high velocity or speed, it breaks the earth surface, okay, or the basin. Yes. Now see, the river, it mainly origins, okay, it comes from the high mountainous area or a highland. Yes, peak of the mountains, snow covered mountains, it mainly the source or the origin of the river is the mountainous area. So when the river, it flows, okay, from the mountains toward downwards, then the speed or the velocity of the river, it remains very high. Okay, so because of that, the river, it goes on breaking the earth surface or the channel, the basin area. Okay, so that is mainly the erosion of the river. Okay, now the erosion or the erosive capacity of the river, it mainly depends on some factors. Okay, so first one is your what? The geological structure of the channel. That means if the earth's surface, it is hard, okay, the formation is of hard rocks, then what will happen? The erosion of the or erosion capacity of the river will be less. Yes, and if the geological formation of the earth is soft nature, okay, the rocks are soft, then more erosion will take place. And the second one is what? Here see erosive capacity of the water, mainly if the amount of water is high, okay, or the speed of the water flow is high, then more erosion will take place, and if the amount of water is less or the velocity is less, then less erosion will take place. So mainly on these two factors, okay, geological structure of the channel and the erosive capacity of the river, okay, or the water, the erosion, it depends. Erosion capacity of a river, it depends. Okay, now you see the channel materials, okay, that are exposed to water flow come under the direct action of water. Such water action is known as what? Your hydraulic action. That means all the broken particles because of erosion. Okay, when the river it flows from the high mountainous area because of a high speed, the river it breaks the earth surface. Yes, as we all know now, all these broken particles, when these particles they come under the direct influence, okay, or direct action of the water, that is called a hydraulic action. Now you see because of the erosion, okay, some kind of activities we can see. The first is your what? Lateral erosion. Now you see when the river it flows from the high mountainous area, from the steep mountainous slope, we all know that the speed, the velocity remains very high, okay, and as it enters the plain area from the mountain, this is the mountain, suppose, okay, this is the mountain, and when it flows, the river it flows from the mountainous area, then the velocity it remains high, and when it enters in the plain area, okay, in the plain area, its velocity it declines, it starts to fall, okay, and in this part, okay, where the river it origins, okay, this part, then the path is narrow, okay, the path of the river where the river flows, the channel is very narrow, and when it enters in the plain area, the river it tries to widen up the channel area, okay, tries to widen it, tries to become broad, okay, tries to make the channel area broad, okay, and because of that, on both these sides, these are called the river banks, okay, both these sides are called the river banks. Now when the river it comes or it enters into the plain area, it tries to break all these sides, these river banks, okay, the river bank, that is called a lateral erosion, okay, when the river it goes on breaking both the sides of the river or the banks of the river, that is called your lateral erosion. So you see here our bank erosion, you see in this picture, one picture is here, you see the lateral erosion, how the river is breaking the earth surface, okay, that type of erosion is called your, or breaking down is called your lateral or bank erosion. Now next you see in this picture meandering course, okay, that is also one work of the river that we can see, it's a meandering course. Now what meandering course means, what? When the river it from the mountain, okay, from the mountain when it flows toward the plain area, okay, it becomes or it takes an in zigzag pattern, it flows like this in zigzag manner, okay, so this pattern as you can see, okay, this is called your zigzag, okay, like this, like this, so this is called your zigzag pattern. So that pattern when the river it flows in this zigzag manner in the plain area, that is called your meandering course, okay, so here one picture is there, you can see a meandering course, and here also you can see the river it flows in a zigzag pattern, that is called your meandering course, okay. Now you see next is a horseshoe lake, okay. Now horseshoe lake in certain parts, okay, of the earth, when the river it becomes highly meandering, okay, that means where zigzag is more, okay, that is called highly meandering. Now in that pattern during the summer times, okay, because the river is highly meandering, so it cannot carry huge amount of water, okay, so during that time, during the summer mainly, when the water flow of the river is very high, okay, the water of the river it comes out of the channel, this is the river channel, that means the path of the river, this is called the river channel, so it comes out, okay, it comes out, overflows, the river water it overflows from the channel, okay. Now and at that time it takes the shape of the crescent shape, or like this, you see this, okay, like oxbow or like a horseshoe, okay, it takes the river, it leaves behind like this shape, oxbow lake, okay, and then it starts to flow straight, okay, so these are called as your oxbow lake or horseshoe lake, or in Assamese we don't, in a local language we call it as beel, okay, so these are basically oxbow lakes or horseshoe lake, same thing. Okay, so here you see this one picture is there, crescent shape oxbow lake. Okay, so this because it takes the shape of a crescent, okay, half moon, what we call, okay, crescent shape moon, that is why it is called, yes, so oxbow lake, or it's somehow like a bow shaped, okay, or like a horseshoe, that is why it is called horseshoe lake. Okay, and the water, it remains here in this lake. Okay, now these lakes are very useful, okay, mainly when during a flood, during times of flood, okay, it can store huge amount of water. Okay, so that is one usefulness of such horseshoe lake or oxbow lakes. Okay, so can you understand what how it has been formed? Mainly when the river, it flows in a highly meandering form. Okay, during the summer area, it comes when it overflows from its channel. Okay, some cutoff, this is called a cutoff. Okay, some cutoff is formed by the river. That means the river, it cuts the earth in like this shape, okay, or like the bow shaped or horseshoe shape. Okay, and then it starts to flow straight. Okay, it straightens, so that means it flows straight. That is called the this cutoff, this is called your oxbow lake or horseshoe lake. Okay, so there are many examples of horseshoe lake or oxbow lake that are formed in Assam also, mainly by the river Brahmaputra river and your Barak river. Okay, so some of these is Deepor Bill, okay, and your Maguri Bill, Bogi Bill. Okay, all these are basically horseshoe lakes. Okay, that has been formed by the river Brahmaputra. Okay, so there are many oxbow lakes or horseshoe lake. You try to find out the names, and you, if possible, you can collect the pictures also. Okay, that will be an assignment for you. So you collect the pictures of major horseshoe lake that are present in Assam. Okay, and which river has been formed, due to which river these oxbow lakes or these horseshoe lakes have been formed. You try to collect the pictures, okay, and you paste it and you submit after your school reopens again. Okay, so try to go through this all this